Why do I always mess up somehow, right? But anyway, let's get into this here. We I'm gonna be frank with you guys. Now, I will say episode 7, I'm still waiting on that review, but after seeing 8 and now we have a season finale coming up, I'm just gonna say, like, I don't know why we had to get that episode on episode 7. I don't think there was any reason to do that. I think that could have been a splash of a flashback somehow. Um, maybe sprinkled throughout the episode, but we're coming on the season finale on episode 9 and I'm just like, where is the chemistry between Joel and Ellie? We're getting these like single episode. I'm like, this is not developing well for me. And this is a problem. I, what I meant by two camps is you have the people that already played the game who are watching the show, and then you have the people that didn't play the game and are watching the show. And the people that didn't play the game, they're getting new experiences. Uh, they're seeing everything for the first time, and they're having that shock moment and that sad moment and all that stuff. And you're just like, you're probably having a better time than people that played the game and are watching the show. So what I was saying with the people that played the game, there is two camps. You're gonna have the people that are happy for the nostalgic stuff going on, and they're loving every moment seeing that. And then you're gonna have the people that are not really caring for the nostalgic moments, and they're saying this is bad writing and that everything is slow and there's just this should be a world that I'm learning about instead of, getting every scene from the video game. Now they do cut some things out and I do get that. But you're getting all the big beats of the story and you're just like I already know I know what's happening at this point in the show. And I feel like I'm in that camp. I'm the one that is not fun that we're getting all this nostalgic moments, but I get it if they stray off just a tad bit, that the people that are wanting that scene by scene are going to pretty much hate them because you're not sticking to the source material. So it's a lose lose situation most of the time. But my thing is when I'm watching this episode, I'm like, oh, there's David, and there's going to be his group. Now, I believe they did change in the show that they're leaning very hard on the religious factor. Now, I don't remember in the game if they did have a religion. I just know that people follow him because during post-apocalyptic worlds, there's always one that stands up and takes over, whether it's a good guy or a bad guy. There's always people sticking to a group and having that leader. But I knew every beat coming on, and like I'm gonna go through each scene here. Actually, that's the no, getting copyright claim. No, so we get this backstory, which is great. Of him doing a revelation and then having that little girl pretty much be the father that died in last time Joel was attacked by that group of people at the hospital. One of them was the father. So we're getting a callback there and we're getting, I guess, a little bit side story. But, they're talking, about the current situation of the Ellie and Joel being out there. And then we get a moment here where Ellie is like, I'm gonna go get some supplies. She has to go out. We're not getting any chemistry besides Joel being almost dead on the ground and her just talking. Uh, but she goes out, and you already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna, she's gonna run into David and the other guy, and she's gonna point the gun, and automatically you know they're gonna go to that barn and it's gonna be a trap because she's gonna be there and you know, she runs away and they're having discussion. It's just to me, it's so predictable. And I think that loses me. I don't care for nostalgia. My main thing with this show, and I know people are probably be like, "Can you just review the show and like say what happened in episode 8?" But I'll just say it here. What happens in episode 8? Ellie needs to get supplies. She runs into David, who David's part of this religious group that is eating people, and they sprinkle in the part where she's in the cage. She breaks his finger. Then they put her on the table, and he's about to cut her, but then she brings up the point that she's infected. Then we get to the end scene where she's in the diner or the dining area, and it's on fire, and she stabs him. And then obviously Joel has that iconic interrogation scene where he kills the guy in front of the other guy that's hooked up to the radiator, and he's like, he was telling the truth, you know, you don't have to kill us. And he looks like he's about to torture the other guy. And he he kills him. He's like, I believe you. I believed him. So you get that, and it just ends. And I know I said this a thousand times, a million times, but this TV shows are meant to world build. They're supposed to show what is happening in this world. Now, if you want to say this is a miniseries, and this could be a miniseries because we are doing 9 episodes, and if this is all we're getting, then this is all we're getting. As far as we're literally getting the first game and the second game, all the big beats, you know, pretty much from getting point A to point B, which happens at the end of episode 9, which I'm not going to spoil yet. And then we get to the part where, you know, we get the second game, and I'm trying not to spoil anything. So that's why I was kind of silent there. But I don't want carbon copies. I think you could have parts where it's like, oh, this is the part where they're doing this in the game in like a span of, you know, 15 to 20 minutes where we're like, oh, that's the scene in the game. That's the scene in the game. And we're, you know, we're moving story ahead because now we're getting context to every scene that we're getting in the game, but are happening in real time in the world. Now, that's why I wish that like we had episodes where we're learning about Jackson a little bit more, or we're learning about the quarantine zones in Boston. Like we should be breathing the world through the environments that these characters are coming from. And it doesn't seem like we're getting that at all. Now, if that changes in season 2, where we're starting to see the world on how it is and, you know, what the backstory of the Fireflies and all the other people that we're running into in the game and now in the show, I think that would be more interesting because I want that. Because I'm so immersed into a world that I wanna live in that world while watching the TV show. What I see in this show is like I'm seeing a slideshow of what I played in the game, but just showed back to me in a movie format. Like it literally seems like they're taking the game and they're just like, all right, we're gonna cut this scene. We'll leave that scene out because you know they're running down a street and it's part of gameplay. But then they'll take this scene, and they'll just paste it together, and they'll add like one or two things that are just not big at all. And we're just getting like, oh, this is where they go in this building before they get to the, you know, the other building or the other scene that's going to be part of the game's beats again. But I want that world. I want to know of like characters. We should be getting more character development while they're having dialogues with the current moment in the show. And I don't know, maybe TV has changed where people don't want that world building anymore, and they just want a straight story of being like, "All right, and protagonist and antagonist fighting, and let's just get to the end where they have the final battle, and that's it." Like, if that's what people want, then I guess you're getting what you're getting in The Last of Us. And in my opinion, I I thought this episode was okay. Like, it's very mid for me. I guarantee you, like I said, people that watch the show but haven't played the game, they're having like a oh my god moment and everything. But I don't feel it, man. And it's starting to get me worried about what's going on in the season finale. And I'm starting to get worried. So yeah, I'll give this a 2.5 out of 5. I don't think it was great. Obviously, if you have different opinions, then please comment down below. Don't hit dislike button because you hate seeing other people dislike the show because they have different opinions. Tell me your opinion and maybe we could have a discussion in the comments section and maybe you might change my mind as far as how I'm viewing this. But let's get into some Picard, but I will hit you with another ad. So we'll be right back.